Hello, we're staying in room 205 of the meridien, Maldives. Every morning we go for a long walk around the island. We haven't seen a video that really shows the whole island. We have a hairnet clipped over the microphone with a, what is that called, a barrette?
Hairband.
A hairband to attempt to keep the wind noise out. This could be a terrible video, no one might enjoy it, but we'll just use it for our own edification if it doesn't. So we're basically going to walk through the whole circumference of the island. We'll go down the kind of boardwalk, whatever, Broadwalk, going to Hollywood Beach, then going down to the end of the pier here where the 2-bedroom villas are, and then just walk around the whole island and end at the breakfast place that we also hit every morning.
So this is going to be a long video.
And we have no idea how to edit, so we're just going to go from here. Here's our bedroom lived in. This isn't going to be some sleek, beautiful video. Oh, you gotta shut the doors, or when you come back, it will be boiling hot in your room.
So the air conditioning doesn't work.
Which is cool. That's conserves energy. I like that. So, pretty nice TV, a little couch. They provide you with snorkels and masks if you want, which is really nice. There's 2 life jackets that come in the room. Beautiful decking, nice little hammock you can sleep in and rest in the afternoon. Just amazing views. We saw some sharks this morning outside of here. I saw a big stingray earlier just from walking down the jetty. Pretty good sized TV. Is jetty even a word that applies? I don't even know what I'm talking about. The bathroom is the star of the show here. I mean, it's just, I never take baths, and I've taken one at 3 o'clock in the morning when I couldn't sleep, and that was enjoyable. I got coffee. Interesting little touch. They've got large bottles of booze, not the airplane size. They're only about 400 a piece.
Everything's 400 a piece.
So we are in room 205. We're on the sunrise side.
Which we highly recommend.
I would recommend the sunrise side. You've got a lot less wind to deal with in the afternoons. It's shady, and because the first 2 days we were here, it rained a lot, and you could actually sit on your deck, whereas the people on the sunrise or sunset side were in a monsoon. We're just stuck in the rooms. At first we were a little disappointed that we were at the beginning of the, I keep wanting to call this a jetty. What is a jetty? Whatever this is, that probably wouldn't fly in America with OSHA rules. All right, good point. But as we've stayed here longer, I've kind of enjoyed that we're pretty close to the stuff. The other nice thing, there's 2 separate deals like this on the island. The other one isn't operational right now, but if I had a choice, I'm assuming they're going to be different numbers. These are all the 200 numbers, and they're much closer to the adults only pool and bar. Riviera is right there. The Japanese restaurant is literally feet away from it. Last night, when we were done with our meal, they offered us a buggy. That's what they call the golf carts that take you around. And I was like, are there people that actually take a buggy 20 feet back to their room? But I don't know. The buggies are everywhere all night long. Like, there's no night activities here whatsoever, but you do occasionally hear a buggy roll through at 2 in the morning, and it's actually woke me up a couple times. But
It sounds like a really big wave, though. It doesn't sound like...
or thunder.
Well, they never use horns.
Yeah, I've never heard them beep once.
And at night, they don't turn their lights on, so it's really, really suspicious.
There's been several times where I've been walking in do-to-do land and then kind of look back to see if I see anything interesting behind me. And there was a buggy, 6-person golf cart, all waiting for me to get the heck out of the way, but sleep or tell you to move, which I guess is nice if, as long as you're not the person in the buggy trying to get somewhere in a hurry for a reservation or something. But
You're on island time, so nobody's in a hurry.
yeah. So
Shoot out to that water. See how pretty those colors are?
the watercolors here are just mind-boggling. Like, I'm sure the camera can't even do it justice. So we've been walking quite a while. We were at 205. Now we're in the 230s. And I mean, we're at the 5-minute point of the video. I don't know how long we spent in the shower tub area, but I guess we've been walking 3 or 4 minutes here. So these at the end here, I just noticed, have wood shake roofs. The insurance agent in me is now noticing this. Those would require a higher deductible, and State Farm might not insure them. But the ones in ours have tile roof, or not tile, architectural shingle roof, which really bothered me. It didn't feel tropical. So, yeah, I'm almost positive, but I could be wrong. See, because that actually right there looks from a distance like it's a typical architectural roof, and now looking close, it's wood shake, and maybe ours is too, and I'm an idiot, which is probably pretty likely. I would say very likely. So these at the end are where the fancy like Applebee's people stay. They're 2 bedrooms, and they have private pools, and they're right by the Wi-Fi tower, cell tower, so they've got great service there. And then they have an advantage right out here is where some of the best snorkeling is. Supposedly we haven't hit that yet. I've been here several days. We've had some snorkeling mishaps, but we're gonna do well today.
We
Yes.
snorkeled yesterday. I did and enjoyed it a lot. I saw
Yeah.
a lot of fish, like a couple feet long fish, and some really pretty, and really like just walking out from the beach about 5 feet out and where I saw other fish.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can, and I think that's part of why they provide, obviously, the snorkel and mask is you can walk in snorkel. I mean, even outside of our room here, I mean, the water's pretty shallow. I don't know if you can tell that, but I mean, I'm always seeing fish, nothing like major beautiful fish like you see in a coral reef, but still.
But like this ladder here, we can get in here and just swim around to come up our own private ladder too. Which is
Right.
nice.
Which is handy if you're locked out too.
Yeah, we've done that a couple times.
In the beautiful water, and I mean, I'm realizing as we're walking here that I'm an idiot, and it is wood shake roof. Gosh, I'm stupid.
Do you want to start the video over so you don't look like an idiot?
No, I want to look like an idiot and be consistent. So now,
Actually, can you give me a link? I'll stop and get my sunglasses.
alright,
Thanks.
so most people have stopped watching by now or fast forwarding because it's very similar. What are some? So that's, I mean, I guess that's another point here is like, someone could so easily have a few drinks, and a lot of people here are on the all-inclusive and they're getting their money's worth. When you walk back at night, like, there's nothing stopping you at all from quite a long fall. There's been several things we've noticed like that that just would not fly where we're from in the United States. And I keep asking people, can we do this? And their answer is always, you can do whatever you want. Like, there's literally no rules. Our seaplane pilot was barefoot. Our boat we went on last night had no back to it, and it was flying, and people could have easily fallen off of the back, and no one cared. That pilot was barefoot. No, you don't call it a pilot. What do you call it? Captain?
Captain.
Are you really a captain on a speedboat?
Sure, why not?
Captain was barefoot also, and they had a CB that was hooked up to itself. We were on island time there. They were disappointed because we didn't catch any fish. I caught probably a 50-pound piece of coral. One girl caught one fish, and I caught a giant piece of coral. And they were disappointed with that, so we stayed out island time a lot longer than we were supposed to. So it was dark moonlight when we came back, and that made me a little nervous too. And you think they'd be looking behind to make sure they didn't drop someone off at the back into the water, and it's kind of like that's just a you problem, which is kind of cool. I mean, what I've had the feeling through my head, because you can snorkel anywhere. I've heard if you get trapped or lost, they charge you $40 to get you. I can't confirm if that's true or not, but I think their motto is just kind of be an adult and make your own decisions. And for a lot of people, that can be a big mistake. But so I guess while she's getting, what are you getting? Sunglasses? I'm gonna go to the Japanese restaurant and walk around a bit. So like I said, so that's our room. She's going in 205 there. In the Japanese restaurant, we were offered a buggy. It's just right here. And I would say, overall, the food here is good. The only thing that I've had that I would say was great was we had a Indian food sampler the first night we got here, and it was on point. It was amazing. Everything else has been good. Not knocking your off your socks good, but nothing's been terrible. Now drinks, I should wait for Stacy to get back to discuss that, because I mean I just don't want to be mean, but they do not know how to make a mixed drink here, but they do know how to market them. I mean, we've been roped in time and time again reading this description of something that sounds out of this world amazing, and then ends up being something that's just going to give you heartburn. This is the Tavamasu we ate here last night. Pretty good atmosphere inside. I think I'll be able to maybe peek in there a little bit. You can kind of see. They have a one of those grills, the name escapes me now, where they cook up the food in front of you and make a choo-choo train out of the onions and all that. And we kind of wanted to do that last night, but they said you got to give them a 24-hour notice. So that didn't happen. Got a nice, kind of would have liked to have eaten out here last night, but we weren't. A lot of times when we sit, they say pick wherever you want, and here they actually sat us, so I didn't feel like we really had a choice. There's the, what's that called?
Hibachi grill.
Hibachi grill.
I don't think these were out last
Yeah, they were out. We just, like I was just saying, we weren't given choices on where to sit.
Did you talk
Like we
about
normally
how
do.
expensive it was?
Yeah, but I mean, this one isn't, it's not crazy expensive.
Our one thing was like what, $10 a piece.
Yeah, but I mean, sushi's expensive. So, what I did talk about is how they're great at marketing with drinks, but not great at making them. Which, every time we have one, we say to ourselves, we're not going to do that again. And so yesterday, I thought, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to get a rum and coke, which isn't on the menu, which that's a mistake. Don't order anything not on the menu because they can charge you whatever you want. The typical drink here is $18, and then 10% service charge and 12% tax, or vice versa. If you're Marriott Platinum or higher, you get cost me $28. So, it's my video fogging up. Notice everything fogs up here. It's almost like we're on a humid island or something. And so then this here is the adult-only pool and bar called the Riviera. So like I said, if you're staying in, good morning, staying in these, let's see the perspective. There's those rooms on the, they call it a jetty too. That's pretty nice. I always like sitting around and meeting people. We've met some pretty interesting folks from all over, sitting around there. The first night we were here, they had a DJ back there. I guess might as well show this real quick since we're here. They had a DJ in between those wings, but it was, what would you say about the DJ?
I don't remember. I'm so tired.
Oh, she doesn't remember the DJ. I mean, it was, I don't even know how to describe it, so I'll just leave it. But it was interesting. It was an attempt at something. The floor is just beautiful everywhere. Now this is called the Waves. This is where the gym is. They've got some kind of painting room here, and the art, I guess, is for sale, but it's not super clear. And there's never been any advertisements about, hey, come paint or anything like that. This is the gift shop, which is an insult to gift shops everywhere.
Show them what they're for sale.
They have a couple floaties, which actually, I never thought bringing a floaty to the ocean, but I would actually recommend it. It would be really nice to chill hanging onto a floaty in front of your room. And they have a pen, 2 ballpoint pens.
2 pens.
And that's it. No, so definitely bring your own
The hats. You can
Tylenol, your own Rolaids, any of those things like
yeah,
that. You are
definitely
not
Tums.
going to be able to buy. And if you try the drinks that are marketed so well, you are going to want some Tums or Rolaids. Up here we have the gym. It's a really nice gym. We did sunrise stretching here one day.
Stretch and relax.
Which, yeah, stretch and relax, but there wasn't any relaxing about it. It wore me out. I'm still sore in my glutes from it.
It was
But
basically a yoga class.
it says open 24/7.
Push.
So use the push button. Hello. How are you? We're just good.
Yesterday I saw you were doing.
Oh, you started it? Yeah.
That's why I asking you good morning.
Yeah, it was very, very nice. I was gonna do a video of everything here if that's okay. What do you have today? Do you have any yoga today?
Today 8 o'clock we have Pilates.
Pilates.
8 o'clock.
Okay.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that was the gentleman who did the. And so I think they do the sunrise yoga here, which is pretty. Sunset? Are you sure? It doesn't matter. It's one or the other. So it's kind of neat. Can't see super well. But again, not that far from your room. Whereas if you were staying at the other side that we'll see eventually, it'd be quite a
Well, you just take a
journey,
buggy.
but you can take the buggy, and they go through these really beautiful trails with so much green around them. I think that wall there is kind of cool for some reason. It really captivates me. Let's get one of those at home. So here's an example. I'm not going to walk down it right now, but because they're all pretty much the same. But you have an idea. This is the buggy walking trail. At night, it's lit up by solar lights, but it's just super nice foliage.
Very ambient.
Yeah. So, and it's a nice walk if you're walking, which we prefer to do whenever we can when it's not pouring. You get a little bit out of the sun and some shade, so it's a little cools you off a little bit. They haven't had these lights on since the DJ night. I'd like another DJ. Yeah, these are surprisingly wonderful to lay on. But then here's the Riviera bar, typical resort wraparound bar. They don't have any swim up bars here. The pools are all very, very small. So this is the adult infinity pool, but I mean, you can just kind of see the standing in there and watching the waves come in is what dreams are made of. So the yoga guy saw us this morning. He's probably like, I hope they come to a class.
He's probably so bored.
I feel bad that we only went to that one and never again. He's probably taking it personally. But so they got a typical beach and chairs, but like the first few days we were here, I wondered if that was the case. It was so windy that, I mean, nothing was out like that. There's the classic Instagram swing. We haven't seen a lot of Instagrammers around here. So right here, again, just not that far from the room, is an amazing place to set up a camera and time lapse the sunrise. I mean, we've got some buttes, Clark. So this here, just outside of these rocks, is where she had some successful snorkeling. There's people have said they've seen octopus, squid, some stingrays, small sharks. I didn't see squat. I got salt water in my eyes right away, and
I enjoyed
you should brag about it.
After we figured out our equipment malfunction,
Yeah.
got to the kiddie snorkel and stuff.
So they're all, I guess, in their homes now, but this is a really fun walk in the morning. There's just crabs everywhere, and a lot of times probably what you see ends up on your menu. And yeah, they're very soft shell crab, right? Yeah, because one night we ordered a seafood sampler and it was supposed to have Alaskan crab legs, and they said we don't have those, so we're gonna substitute soft crab, and I'm so glad they did. I don't want the Alaskan crab. They've done that a couple times too, where something that was on the menu of what we ordered wasn't there. You kind of gotta feel it.
Eldon's crabbies.
Yeah, those are little guys. I mean,
I know,
cutie
but they're
patooties.
cute. Look, they're like
I like seeing the ones that look like spiders fighting each other. So up ahead is the spa. Won't be able to get in there to tour it. We toured it without the camera. Pretty typical spa offerings, but the massage chairs look into the water, which sounded cool to Stacy, but I like to have my eyes closed during a massage, so it didn't do much for me. But the interesting thing is, like, those end ones, I think, are the couples rooms, and they have a toilet on the outside. I'm really not sure what that's all about. Do you know what that could be about? I don't get it.
I guess
I guess if you gotta go, you gotta go. So you don't have to leave the massage room. So you kind of walk around these mangroves and through the water. It's in it. What's wrong?
It's hurting my feet because I don't have to.
Yeah, it gets hot quick. You see some birds. I was hoping to see and hear a lot more birds, but there's definitely. No, I know. That's what made me think of it. But this is not for the barefoot walker. I mean, you don't really need to get a pedicure here. You can just walk over this stuff. And so that is the beach villas, right? Which they look really cool. I think a lot of them have private pools, which would be nice.
Well, I think if you were here with a family,
Yeah.
you could probably get a 2-bedroom
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, because there's no family option for like the room we're in. It's a king bed and that's that. But I haven't seen a ton of kids here. Gosh, my. That's what I'm saying. Like, no one's gonna want to listen to that.
Take them off. It's really soft sand right here. Feels good.
That's what she said. So,
Yeah, some of the sand feels really soft under your feet. Like, this is perfect.
ow, shit. Oops.
And
Now this video's gonna get a PG rating.
some of it
That,
hurts.
you told me it was so soft, so I relaxed and
It is
then
soft.
stepped on a giant piece of coral.
Oh, wow, watch me
I'm
step
losing blood.
on
See, there's like that. Hopefully, you can see that little. That's a man. He's angry. Ooh,
Get his eyes on
they
you.
scare me. They just look at me like they hate me.
The Spideys. That's what it's called on the menu.
Probably because they
The
know
Spidey sandwich.
we eat their parents at dinner. Oh man.
They're delicious.
So now, on the other side of the spa, there's the entrance to the spa. You can see they haven't put the, when we first went, they didn't have those wind blockers and stuff, but it's
I
been,
think they'll pull those up later.
maybe. It's
It's
been,
still early.
it's been so, but I mean, look at the flowers. Flowers everywhere, they're just so beautiful. And there's the other row of villas that aren't open yet, which makes it really nice for right now. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we've done this whole walk and haven't seen a soul but workers, but here's, we're trying to camouflage them, but here's the worker kind of dorms. But I was glad to hear, like, the bartender at Riviera yesterday, someone said that they didn't see him, and they said, were you off yesterday? And he said, yeah. And they said, what'd you do? And he said, watch Netflix, had a good day. So that made me feel good, because clearly they don't work them like cruise ship employees, where it's just no breaks hardly and all that. Everyone seems really happy.
And they're super friendly.
Of course, they do on a cruise too, so maybe they're just having to put on the facade. But I mean, actually, like that driver we talked to last night.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he said he's living the life, so he just misses his girlfriend who worked at the other resort with him. But so I would love to get in here and play some hoops. There's no hoops for guests, but they got a court for the workers. And then up here, which I'd love to do even more, and I actually got permission to play soccer with them. Where? To play soccer with them, and then it rained, and then I decided I wasn't gonna push it, because they probably don't want to play soccer with the guests. They probably want a break from the guests, but it's a nice little soccer field. They're playing on with stands and everything. They have matches, they said, but I don't want to interrupt their space. I bet they grill up some good food for themselves on that thing. And then up here, or is it a ways to the greenhouse? We were walking through here one day and we were peeking at the greenhouse, and the dude was like, you want to look? And Took us for a tour through it. It was awesome. It's like all hydroponic, and I guess all the lettuce and a lot, probably not all the vegetables. I didn't see any tomato plants or cucumbers or things. The stuff that's easy and fast to grow. The lettuces, the spinaches.
You're getting good ROI.
ROI? Oh, return on investment. I'm trying to talk my garden language. So right now I'm so hot. I mean, like when we were probably an hour and a half ago watching the sunrise, it was actually a little bit chilly with the breeze. And now I really want to jump into the ocean. So they're working up here on a sunrise bar or cafe or I don't know what. Or they were working on it one of the days. Or deck, but you think it's done? Well, there aren't any signs saying you can use it or anything. So there's, I'm assuming like the desalination tanks, all the water is filtered and salt taken out here, and it's actually pretty good.
It's very good.
In our discussions with the hotel before we got here, I told them that we're big water drinkers, and they put bottles of water in your room, not plastic, which is awesome, glass bottles. And because we had said that, I mean, like, they hooked us up. I mean, there are bottled waters next to our bed, in the bathroom next to the sinks. And above the mini bar, they've had 6 or 7 of them at times. I think it's down to 5 now. Maybe we need to drink more.
But they do charge you for that water at dinner.
Yeah, at dinner. Still water, if you're not on a package, is $5. But the longer you're here, you get desensitized to all that. I'm super frugal, so I'm doing the math on everything all the time. But now I'm just like, whatever. Ouch.
Yeah, $30 for a hamburger sounds like a great deal.
Yeah, it sounds like a bargain. So you think that's done? I think there's more coming to it. But when we were here before, they were working on it, and it was kind of blocked off, and no one's been working since, so maybe it's done. I mean, that would be the good place for some sunrise yoga. Maybe. So there, we'll check it out later, but that's where the lobby is. There's not a whole lot going on outside around it. They have a movie screen, and they said they play
Actually, I think it's on Wednesdays. Maybe that's too bad.
Wednesday or Thursdays. I thought they said Thursday, but she fell asleep in that
That was the best nap
hammock
I had. That was so good.
after a bottle of wine.
You shared the bottle with me.
Not much. You
Oh.
can call it shared. I sniffed it.
Ah.
They have a giant, I probably can't see it, chess set over there. I haven't seen anyone playing it, but there's the movie screen, which would be pretty cool if they had movies on it. And then there's, like I said, the way other side of the island. Not that it's that big, but I mean, we're 34 minutes into this thing, and we haven't made it around yet, but nobody's staying in there yet. They say these here are kind of the best of both worlds, but I don't really understand it. Supposedly the water at high tide goes up there, and I mean, you can tell from the piers it should, but I haven't seen that happen. And I'm someone who on vacation prefers to walk exploring for 15 to 20 miles a day. So I've done a lot of walking here, but it's all been the same thing. Everything is just so green.
Very lush.
Oh, there's a lizard.
There's a lizard. Hey, little guy.
Tried to attack me. There's another one.
There he is.
Here, lizard, lizard, lizard. There's another example of the buggy trails. You can see how you got the shade there. I'd love to walk through that right now, but what are you gonna
Committed.
do? I'm pot committed to show the 360 of this thing. I think it's cool, like the what is that? What is that lighting up? You see solar things,
I think it's just lighting the
everywhere.
path because we're right
but where's
by
the light?
business.
I don't see the light.
What do you mean?
I mean, all I see is a solar thing. I don't see the light.
It's shooting behind.
Oh, it's behind it, shooting off into the. Oh,
Makes it on the
yeah. I mean, it's just so thick.
Here's the.
So here's the greenhouse. I doubt we'll get the tour today. I think that was probably just luck of the draw. But the yellow flags, they told us, mean bugs are attacking it. But I don't know how they defend against the bugs because I'm assuming it's all organic. But I took a video while we were inside of there. It's really neat. It's a shame all of those are empty, but it's so nice that, I mean,
So private.
there's just, it's like you're almost on your own private island, it feels like half the time. So here's the rest of the greenhouse. See, in case you didn't believe me, the greenhouse. You think they believe me?
Believe you about what? I didn't hear
That
you.
it was the greenhouse?
No.
There's a sign there that confirmed it. I feel so bad for the workers. They said everyone's vaccinated when we got here, but they all have to wear masks all the time.
And that's
like-
hot sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, there's people by themselves
Good morning.
raking and having to wear a mask in the heat. I'm surprised there's not rampant face acne everywhere. We've got these little signs kind of help you know where you are. So, okay, so that confirms the room we're in are the 200s, so these will be the 300s. So I would think
I think the beach hut villas next to the restaurants are that one.
you would want to be in the 200s. I mean, I guess you can't know till you stay over there, but I just feel like you're a lot more near the action, don't you, in the 200s?
Oh yeah, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Really
Oh, and
impressive.
see, we don't have a view of a bunch of satellite antennas and stuff like that from ours.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that. And those would be the, is that the sunrise side?
Yes, that's sunrise.
I don't know.
Some pretty flowers. These look fake. Doesn't that look fake? It's so pretty.
Yeah, I don't think they take the time to do that. But you're right, it is beautiful. Wow, so that's a big, that's a 2 or 3 bedroom. See that turtle out there? It says strong currents, only. But there's the breeze. That's probably ruffling through this like a damn hurricane. But and then this is kind of weird to me. Stacy guessed that that's where they put trash. There were birds flying through it like crazy yesterday when we were waiting for the fishing boat. And it is kind of built up like a dump, you see, but I hope that's not the case. But what would they do with it? Wow.
That's pretty cool.
I wonder why it's all piled up like that.
Maybe they're gonna make some.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You think they need me to carve something up on it when I'm here? Ow. where they greet you. Of course, for us, you know, normally people come in on a seaplane. I'm sure are all happy. When we came in, our barefoot pilot didn't feel good about landing here, so we landed at a tiny little dock, literally in the middle of the ocean, with nothing else around. Couldn't see a thing. Finally saw a boat zipping our way. Got on the boat, and he immediately handed us towels and said, "You're gonna get wet." And we didn't get soaked, but it was scary. I mean, we were getting air and then just bouncing. Oh yeah, forgot about Mama Girl. She threw up and then passed out, but she wasn't drunk. It was just like anxiety or something. And that thatched building over there is the dive center. You catch your fishing boat. Our fishing was a failure. That's where you get your scuba gear. And like the sunset cruises go out of there. But I would say, like, I don't even know how much the sunset cruise cost, but the fishing was $80 a person plus the 10% and 20%, or 10 and 12 or whatever it is. But it was a sunset cruise. So, like, even if you don't want to fish, me personally, like, go on the fishing one. We went way out. We went, you couldn't even see the island from how far out we went. And the sun, we saw, yeah, the sun set, and then we basically had a moonlit ride back. And they didn't say in the description, but they provided some Cokes and Heinekens and waters. So this is the reception that, you know, when you first check in after coming from the States, especially, you got your 30 hours of flights to get here. So, like, the check-in process is an absolute blur to me. I don't really know what happened.
Well, they had us sit down and they gave us a drink that delicious wine.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Morning. It's really pretty. Not a whole lot goes on, though. Like, you know, at most American hotels, the lobby is the big hangout hub, and that's just not the case here, but it's very beautiful. And this piece of wood is out of this world. Beautiful. Oh yeah, they do provide you 2 umbrellas too, which hopefully you won't need, but we did.
It's like a little hub.
Yeah, and that's
never
like a
open.
coffee shop hub to the lobby, but it's never open. So there's basically the Riviera bar, and then that place with that gift shop we saw earlier has some kind of healthy food thing themed with the gym. You know, they're going with a healthy theme there, and then these 2 restaurants back to back, and that's it. That's your
Well, the Japanese place.
Oh, yeah, the Japanese, sorry. Gosh, I'm a terrible tour guide. So there's, obviously that one, they're not taking people around, but there's the 6-person buggy that never beeps, but might be following you without you realizing it to start with. Do we need to assemble there?
I think we do.
The breakfast buffet is out of this world. It has so many different ethnic foods, and then you can also get a pancake if you want, or cereal, and you can get it free with your Gold or above with Marriott. Otherwise expensive breakfast buffets are a ripoff. Like there was one in Hong Kong that would have had to pay $95, but this one's worth $30 for no other reason.
The fresh squeezed juices.
Yeah, it comes with bottomless mimosas. I mean, they don't advertise it that way, but I mean that's what it comes with. So yeah, you can eat out here with your feet in the sand, or inside with your feet in the sand. There's the buffet. I forgot my mask, so I'm not gonna walk in it now, but it's pretty. Wow, what a wordsmith. Yeah. So like another example of the element of do whatever you want. I asked the guy, can I go swim to that island and hang out on it? And he said, you can do whatever you want. So I guess I haven't tested that yet. I haven't done anything really crazy yet, but we're still for more days. So there, we basically made a full circle in the distance. You can see the Japanese restaurant. There's a volleyball court there that I've yet to see a game going on. That seems really fun to me. There's the other Instagram spot. But missing the Instagrammers here. Here's the other pool. This one is kids are allowed, and I've heard some kids screaming in it for sure. But it's also an infinity pool looking out. Very nice. There's kind of the grill and bar area, the Vila. I think it's called, right? That's kind of relaxing to hear that. The waves go out at the same time. Take a nap. These chairs are a little bit of a letdown to me. Not that they're really bright, but you can't lay flat. It's kind of interesting. You're never that far from a bathroom, which is nice because we've been pounding the aforementioned water as much as possible. Yeah, this heartburn drinks go right through you. I don't know if anyone actually changes in this changing booth, but I find it fascinating. Maybe I'll do that later. Get that off the bucket list. Oh, there's a volleyball up there. We can start our own game after a bottomless mimosa breakfast. And then you can rent the wave runners here. The prices for the wave runners literally are shocking to me. I don't know if there's some environmental tax on them or what, but they're like $250 an hour. But you can get kayaks for free, although he discouraged me from using one yesterday in the wind. I don't know if he was thinking I was too middle-aged and fat to do it or what, but I saw people out there, so I'm going to try that today. And then you can also do paddleboarding for free, which I'd like to try that too. Never tried that before. Why don't we try all the water sports that are free? So that's pretty much, I mean, we could walk along there and see villas, but we're already at 49 minutes and I don't think anyone's still watching. So, you will? But the reason I did this is I was just really curious to see the whole island versus a little snippet. And so something like this that I could have in the background while I play Gardenscapes, get an idea of what I can expect and look forward to would be cool for me. Go Reggie, our team leader on Gardenscapes. God, we're nerds. Yeah. Yeah, don't get the drink that's supposed to have charcoal in it. That sounded really exciting, and I was like, oh, I'm so fancy drinking charcoal. But you didn't taste charcoal. It was grape Kool-Aid. there and drank it and pictured Colleen and Weston through that wall, which it's a beautiful piece, and that would have made me sad.
I really liked the green, what was it,
Tipsy Turtle. And I had the
and the
time
time
machine
machine.
somewhere. It was really good.
Those were both very good.
We had the seafood sampler here. It was pretty good. I wonder if that's someone shampoo or you can use it. So this is kind of lunch place. You can see they've got a pizza oven in there. The pizza was actually surprisingly good.
I liked it.
The anchovies probably I shouldn't have gotten, but it felt exotic. But it's kind of nice. What I miss is like, besides the Riviera, there's no sit-up kind of social where to eat. You know, I like to talk to people and meet them for that part of it, and that really doesn't happen except there. Stacy wants me to show you the water. Like,
That's what I wanna
I mean, do people come here to look at the water?
It's so beautiful.
They don't come here to see what's in the buffet. You're breathtaking. Another thatch roof. I guess we didn't confirm that I was an idiot, right? I am an idiot. Okay, good. So then another, like, that supposedly counts as a bar back there, but it's never open or activated. But again, where it's COVID, and I think they have to keep the number of people here at a low. I guess no one. Should I end with the breakfast buffet? I wish I brought a mask, because then we're gonna stand here with.
I'll give this one.
Will you go get me a mask?
Here's one.
Alright, I'll go ahead and break. Here's the buffet. Got a lot of nice pastry options. This always has a different type of quiche, bacon, yogurt, and juice station, cereal with different milks for those at home. Got a lot of fruit. There's a bottomless mimosas. Made to order omelets. This guy was great about omelets. Some more pastries. This is where the crabs or pancakes are made. Some cheeses and smoked meats. Here's a salad from the greenhouse we saw earlier.